What's up, everybody? King of FOMO here, coming at you with your daily crypto update. Make sure you follow my Telegram channel. That's t.me/kingoffomo1, as well as my chat, which is going to be linked in the description below. A lot of the stuff that I'm talking about with you guys, I'm finding from my chat. So that's definitely a good place to go and talk about things. Today, we're going to be talking about a new farmer. So this is a farmer on the Tron network. I've been moving, a good chunk of my Ethereum and Bitcoin over to Tron, just because for a couple of reasons. I know that once Sun.market, Justin Sun's farming, website goes live, or once the farming goes live, I do think that Tron is going to have a pretty big pump around that time. I do think there will be a pretty big dump that follows afterwards too, but I think that right now is kind of the perfect Goldilocks period to buy Tron and be in that rise, so that you can decide whether or not you want to sell or continue to farm or do anything like that. That's just my take. I don't know if that's actually going to happen, but that is that. So what we're going to talk about today is MFI.finance. We'll talk about some other yield farming on ETH and some other projects that have launched on ETH as well. But this is one of the reasons why I'm getting into yield farming on Tron, is because I know that a lot of people are complaining about the transaction fees, and they still are pretty high in Ethereum. I'm not gonna lie. With Tron, the fees are pretty much non-existent, so you can do a lot of stuff and you can actually earn a lot from yield farming in here. And you can know your WPY without having to subtract so many fees for buying the coin and putting a coin in the pool and taking the coin out and doing all that other stuff. It's just not a problem with Tron farming. So I know that another issue that people have with farming in general is what is the use case? And for a lot of these farming coins, the use case is just to generate more of its coins so that people can sell. And it ends up being a first in gets the most profit, last out gets the least profit kind of thing. So when I'm looking for these farms, I'm also trying to gauge whether or not I'm going to buy the actual coin itself, or whether or not I'm just going to sell the coin and farm it and sell it. What is the team actually going to do? So if we go over to MFI right here and we take a look, let me go ahead and scroll down and show you guys. Right here it says that the PS, we're excited, a second project is underway and it will utilize the MFI you're holding, so stay tuned. News of updates of this new project will be announced. So that's important when I'm looking for these types of coins, is what are some other things that they're going to be using them for? Is it just going to be a coin that mines itself? Because if that's the case, then usually they just end up dying out within a week or so. But MFI has some pretty good returns. I believe it's somewhere around about 10% APY, at least with this pool right here. With this pool, it might be about maybe half of that, so 5%. And I meant per day, so 5%. I'm making about 10% daily and 5% daily from the tie in the MFI Tron pool. Now, I usually, my strategy, like I said in my last video, is usually to just mine with a coin that is not going to be extremely volatile. So in this case, it would either be TIE, Just, or USDJ. Now, these are going to give you about half the amount of rewards or a third of the amount of rewards. But when you're mining with these coins in particular, the risk is significantly reduced to you, especially if you're doing a stable coin like USDJ. Compared to doing these not so stable coins. But I did decide to go ahead with MFI and do the MFI Tron liquidity pool just because the rewards are very high. I'm liking Tron right now. I'm liking kind of testing it out and seeing what's going to happen. I think the price of Tron is going to go up. So even if the MFI coin dumps 10%, within a day, I still make back what I lost in the rewards. So just taking a look at some other coins on the Tron network. This is Pearl.Finance. Also, you have Salmon.finance. And I just want to kind of zoom out here and show you guys what's been going on in the Tron network. So this is the past 30 days. Yes, it did have a pretty big high of about $5,000, and then it kind of corrected itself. And for the past couple of days, so since September 5th, it's really been hovering around about $1,000 even. So that's really good, considering the fact that if you're getting upwards of about 9% per day, again, from these types of coins, and they survive for 3 days without dumping in price significantly in those 3-day period, that means essentially you've made 30%, and you have a 30% cushion for the price to drop, or you can just pull out with 30% profits of what you put in to start with. And that's what I like about these coins on Tron. So there's Pearl.Finance, and then you have Salmon as well. So let's go ahead and check out Salmon. Salmon's a little bit different. It did have a pretty bigger dump since the beginning. But it does seem to be kind of correcting and staying at a pretty sideways movement here in Salmon. This one's a little bit more dangerous because you only have liquidity pools to work with, in Salmon Swap, but with Moon Farmer or Moonpool, you see that these are singular coins, so you don't have to worry about a liquidity pool and just impermanent loss with the liquidity pool in there. So some coins that I think are also really good. I think TAI is a good coin just overall, and I think that it's pretty low at the current moment. I know that that's one of the things that I panic with when I'm farming with some of these lesser known coins. I forgot to actually show you guys TAI, but our Salmon, let's just take a look at TAI. When we're farming these lesser known coins, it's like, will these coins just go down in value significantly as well? Because it's not going to be worth farming if I get 20% per day, if the coin goes down to 0 overnight. But if you check out the project that TAI has, it seems pretty solid for a coin to hold in the longer term. Now again, it's got a similar chart to what you saw in Salmon, or what you saw in Pearl, because these coins, they kind of run side by side, but now that it's kind of unpaired from Salmon Swap, so let me just go over to Salmon Swap and show you guys what I mean by here. I'm sorry, Pearl.Finance. So what Pearl has done is they had a limited time for farming with these different types of coins. So the TAI field for Pearl.Finance has ended, so it should decouple itself from Pearl.Finance as well. Maybe it'll stick with some other farmers, but overall I do think that the TAI coin might kind of settle at this price, and you won't have to really worry too much about it dumping so hardcore. But of course, don't take my word for it. You guys can look at that your entire self. But again, this is called Moonpool.finance. We'll see what happens with it. I've been doing really, really good with farming. I talked about in my last video, I was farming some of this coin, this BSN coin, and I was just doing the USD pair and made a couple of ETH from that in one day. I'm also farming Kitten.finance, making a couple ETH from that in a day without any real risk, besides the smart contract failing. And what I'm really thinking about doing is jumping into yieldfarming.io, which is on Ethereum, so the fees will be there, but I don't have to worry about them too much because I'm putting in so much. But with yieldfarming.io, one of the things that I like about this is I'm sort of predicting that Ethereum might fall in the next couple of days, because Bitcoin is struggling to keep up past this $10,000 range. And I think that if Bitcoin doesn't rally and if it goes below $10,000, I think it's going to bring Ethereum down with it. So it might actually be a really good time for me to tether up at least half of my ETH. And while I'm tethering up, I can farm some of this yieldfarming.io, this DAI pool right here, and maximize my rewards right there. Additionally, with this, I'm giving you guys all kinds of information, but this is kind of where my mind is going. Additionally, with yieldfarming.io, they just announced in their Telegram that they're adding some new pairs. So another thing that I like to do is, with those pairs, I like to buy up those pairs before they're listed on some of these farmers. Now, granted, maybe yield farming is not the most popular thing on the planet. Maybe it's not going to actually bring up a coin so much from listing it as a farmer, but the potential is there. And I think the coin that I was looking at for yieldfarming.io, I can't remember what it is actually. We gotta look at that. Oh, it's YFV. So YFV is actually down to $20 right now. So this could pump YFV up back to maybe $30 or so. So purchasing up some of that just to see what's going to happen with it. If not, I'll just farm with it and go from there. But that's farming in a nutshell. So some other things we can kind of cover is, I know that there are some coins listing on Bounce.finance. You guys have to be careful with rugs. I'm trying to moderate this in my Telegram chat, but I can't save everybody from everyone. Just don't trust anyone ever. If somebody talks about a pre-sale, especially I don't do pre-sales, and a lot of people have been messaging me saying, "Hey, King of FOMO, you want to get in on this pre-sale? We'll give you X amount of tokens if you talk about us in a video." I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. And I don't even buy pre-sale tokens, because you gotta show me that you're worth my Ethereum before I just start giving you my Ethereum at this point. There's been so many rugs and scams that have been going on just because people are buying into pre-sales that have no website, no product, anonymous teams. If you have all three of those things, no website, no product, and an anonymous team, why the F are you buying a pre-sale? Why are you putting hundreds of Ethereum into these pre-sales of these coins where people can literally, you can just make up a fake website yourself. You can make a fake coin up yourself, and you can put it on sale here and bounce or whatever, offer a pre-sale. The amount of work that it takes to do all that, it probably takes one day to set up a whole website and a whole hype fest about a new coin. Call it YF, whatever the heck you want to call it, and then people will join with hundreds of Ethereum. And if it only takes one day to set all of that up, like imagine if you can make, you know, close to $50,000 from just one day's work. People are gonna do that. Let's be real. People, like, you can't just think that all people are altruistic. People are gonna be scammy, and they're gonna take your money very, very quickly if you're going to allow them to, with 24 hours of their time just designing a pretty website for you guys to look at. So do be careful. What I would say for all pre-sales is just, like, if they have a team that's not anonymous, okay, you're